we got a historic result in United States of America. Trump won and overwhelmingly won the American elections. And a lot of people were surprised, not just because he won, but by how confident he won. The numbers were just so clear that the Democrats didn't even try to argue or to do any kind of dirty tricks to say that no, that's not a legit winning. And why did it happen? And is it good or bad for America and for the world? Let me just give you my 5 cents about the topic. First of all, I think that the winning of the Trump is not so much due to the people being really big fans of him. Definitely he has a lot of fans, a lot of people who admire his style, admire his ideas and such. But I think his victory is mostly because people, even the ex-Democrats or even the current Democrats, are just fed up with the current policies of the White House. They are so frustrated with how things are going on in the internal policy field in America and with foreign policy as well. That's why when you are fed up, when you are frustrated, you just go and vote for the opponent of the party that you're usually voting for, just because you want changes. You want something to change. You have this hope that maybe the change will bring something better for you, for your kids, some stability and some more prosperity, which things that American people are really aspiring to get. And I see several reasons why Kamala Harris lost these elections. First of all, I think she and her team probably didn't realize up to which point the American population is tired with the current policy, how much they want changes. So she didn't manage to separate herself from Biden figure and from Biden policies. Basically, she couldn't name a few things that she would make differently. Something that American people were waiting for. She was basically saying that, well, I don't see anything that I would do differently. Like, well, I will keep on this party line because this is amazing. We are Democrats. We are doing things always super amazingly. And she was totally wrong. Another reason that I see is that personally, as a politician, she is not very strong figure, let's say. What do I mean strong? Not about the character and charisma. She definitely has some of charisma. She has this presence and she can try to shine and be some kind of a rock star. But she has all of these superficial things, but she is lacking the content inside. So sometimes when she was asked kind of important questions, like, for example, how are you going to fight the inflation? What exact steps and actions would you do if you become president? And she was absolutely lost. She was trying to make this kind of word salad and saying things like, well, we would come up with a great plan. We are going to have a great plan. So yeah, I think it's really important for the politician who aspires to become a president to be able to give a little bit more substance in the answers to such an important questions. I know a lot of politicians, it's like their job to be able to say nothing within a 5 minutes speech. But sometimes you have to give something, like, for example, Trump, he's often say things that a lot of people are disagree with, but he's saying something. He says like, yeah, I would do this action, I would do that action, I would do this. Even if some of these promises are empty and not realistic even, but he's saying this. But Kamala Harris is like, I would just do the best possible way, democracy and liberties for everyone, we have amazing plans, blah, blah, blah. And the substance is missing in a lot of important topics. Another reason for her to lose is, as I understand this, maybe I'm wrong as I don't live in the United States, but I have this feeling that a lot of people in US who, even the people who are the super tolerant and super pro liberties, LGBT, whatever you name it, some of them, a lot of them actually are tired with the border problem, that people really concerned with the situation, and looks like the situation is quite horrible. Nothing like what here we in Europe are having, like crimes and other bad things are going on. So for a lot of people, even the Democrats are becoming harder and harder to tolerate it and not to start feeling angry about what is going on, about the illegal immigrations, about the criminal elements entering the United States. And it's hard not to become angry and just want, hard not to want more strict and clear policy in this regard. So as this problem were growing the latest years, and Kamala Harris didn't offer any clear path or solution, well, that was probably also a big minus point for her and contributed to the losing of the elections. Well, and the last point of which possibly contributed to such a poor results is her vision of the foreign policy, that she would keep basically doing what Biden was doing and keep feeding the war in Ukraine, which is just only contributing to more thousands of people, of Ukrainian people, die every day. But I think, of course, for the American population, maybe it's not like the most important topic, because as far as I know, people in the United States are more worried about their own internal problems than about the foreign policy. But still, this also was quite a weak point in her agenda. So, how the world and the America will change with the Trump being president? Definitely there will be a lot of changes, at least like everyone expects that, but we shall see. And one of the most obvious changes, I think they will start happening in the Ukraine-Russia war. Trump said so many times that he will be able to wrap up this war quickly and to stop it even before the New Year, which I really doubt. But let's hope that at least he will start making actual efforts of negotiations, not keeping this policy with just blindly ignoring the reality on the ground and saying like, yeah, but we will stand with Ukraine as long as it takes, which is in the real language means we will stand with Ukraine until they lose their last man, which is a horrible idea. Let's hope he will be able to somehow be a reasonable mediator between Russia and Ukraine, but I see that it will be super hard for him and complicated, because Zelensky doesn't want to lose anything in this war. Basically, he said that we should go back to the border of 1991, which is absolutely delusional thing. I'm not sure how he is going to persuade Zelensky into giving up some of his ambitions. I don't know. But also from the Russian side. Now Russia lost a lot of men already, sacrificed a lot. And I don't see how Putin would give up some of his interests. Like, I don't think that Putin, for example, will give up these new territories which are officially Russian. Trump would try, of course, to persuade him to give them up, because for him and for the United States would not be a good PR to give up a lot of things to Russia. But he has really no leverage to push Putin into giving up a lot of his ambitions, which are, at least Putin pronounced already, these 4 new territories, Khersonskaya Oblast and Zaporozhye and Donetsk and Lugansk. Of course, he is going to keep it, and non-NATO status of Ukraine and non-military or at least very few military that Ukraine will be allowed to have after this. I think Trump is not going to have much problems with neutral status of Ukraine, but he's going to have a lot of problems with Donbass, Lugansk, and these two new oblasts being officially recognized as Russians. So how he's going to negotiate this part, I also have no idea, because as I told, he has no much leverage against Putin. What exactly? Like to threaten Russia with nuclear weapon? I don't think Trump will do this over Ukraine. He's a businessman. He would not bet such a huge amount of capital on a horse which is bleeding and losing. We shall see, but at least I'm a little bit hopeful because the atoms will be in the direction to stop the war, to stop the death. And about the Israel and the war in the Middle East, unfortunately, I don't think it will be any different, because as far as I know, as far as I can see, living in the Western Europe, it seems like Democrats and Republicans, they don't have really much difference in respect of how they support Israel. They support Israel unconditionally in almost everything. Democrats looks like they were a little bit more reluctant to support Israel fully when it started to bomb Gaza so indiscriminatory way, killing thousands of people, including women, kids, whatever. But still, they keep finally doing the same kind of policy, sending money, sending weapons, which allows Israel to do whatever they want. And to have all of these fronts open with South Lebanon, with in Gaza, with Houthis, and possibly with Iran. Oh my god, this is crazy. So unfortunately on this front I don't see a lot of hopes, but we will see. Maybe the business capabilities and negotiation capabilities of Trump will give us some results and some pacification into this area as well. And regarding the social and economy issues, well, here the consequences are not fully clear and are very complex. Trump, being absolutely a person representative of the right wing, a full-blown capitalist, of course, he will not support these initiatives like health care, like Obamacare, which try to give a bit more social justice and to help people with least amount of possibilities and economical possibilities in their lives. Because, well, people from the right wing and from the left wing, we have very different understanding of what social justice means. Capitalists are having these beliefs that justice is that the most capable, the most smart or sly person, even not necessarily smart and capable, takes it all. The winner takes it all. If you manage to climb up, no matter what kind of means even you used, you not necessarily do this by just being intellectual, but just being honest and things like this. Often it's on the contrary, but the person who climbs up, like the winner takes it all, right? It's like very, very simplistic view. And the people from the left believes that social justice is a more complex topic and that the system that we have right now is structurally unjust. And first of all, it's preventing by default most of the people who are not born in the rich families to climb. So the rich society preserves itself and reproduces itself by separating their offsprings in the private schools, in the super expensive universities, while for the poor, well, there's leftovers and they should survive how they want and being fed with this kind of American dream that if you try hard enough you will reach anything you want with just as a cognitive bias. Okay, I'm here being a bit subjective and valorative, but I just try to explain that how different we see the social justice from right and the left. So yeah, I don't have any good news for people from the poorest part of society in the United States, but who knows, maybe Trump will be advised by the smarter or just by smart people, not smarter, I don't know, to pay a bit more attention to this. And minimum wage, I understand that the Democrats really wanted to raise it until to $15 per hour, and Trump, I don't know if he was against, or at some point he told that maybe I will consider, but it's obvious that he is quite reluctant to this idea as being a true capitalist guy. Another negative point is his desire somehow to restrict abortion rights. So as far as I know, Trump wants to limit the reproductive freedom rights. I'm not sure the details of how far this thing he wants to take, but that is absolutely negative points for me. It looks like there will be definitely a big shift in the policy of immigration. He will undoubtedly make it much tougher for illegal immigrants to enter USA. I'm not sure how really difficult it is. Looks like it's a very, very complex topic. But hopefully the crime around the area will be reduced. We shall see. And while yes, he definitely will make the life of illegal immigrants tougher, which some people might be happy about, probably most of the Americans. And I think that it's okay to make a stricter border policy and to make a stricter filter whom you let in and whom you are not letting in. Like, finally, each country has a right to defend its own border, and preserve the stability inside its population, which illegal immigrants definitely not adding stability. But it's not okay if he will start making life of illegal immigrants miserable inside USA. Like, the ones who are already there, still they are humans, and a lot of these humans had really, really hard lives. Often they experienced human tragedies that pushed them to cross the borders, not often like criminals and drug dealers, right? And I hope there won't be measures that would separate families or do some other super barbaric measures to make their life just miserable and catastrophic. So while it's okay to make the border rules stricter, it's not okay to abuse the power and become an inhuman with people who already, because of how life happened inside. So, well, we will see how he will be able to manage all of these very, very complex topics, which for anyone would be super hard to deal with. And, well, it's such a difficult times in the world and in the United States that probably there are very few people, even the smartest one, the most educated and capable one, would be able to resolve efficiently and quickly. It's just the context is really complex, but let's just hope that the shift overall will be positive and that our world will start moving toward stability and prosperity.